Hello everyone, I'm Dave Puma, I'm a keys player at Cardiff Community Church, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to run ambient pads in worship, showing you how to use them with your existing tracks that you might be running and how to use them with your piano playing as well. If you haven't seen the last video, you can go and check that out. I showed you how to add a track for Real Love and how to split it up into different sections so we could jump around in the song. And so I've got that in here. I've just got the intro and the final chorus, so we can start off the intro, 2, and then jump straight to the final chorus. So after this song, we might be going into Forever, a kind of a mid-tempo song, and you might not have a track for this. Obviously, there's a lot of songs that maybe don't benefit so much from a track, and so we're probably going to be playing the main piano lead on this one. But if there's only one keys player, and we won't have anyone kind of doing any pads or anything, so an ambient pad can kind of really help us fill in that gap and also kind of provide a glue that holds the song together and also helps transition from the previous song. So if we imagine at the end of Real Love, it kind of ends and then we want to go straight into Forever, but there's going to be a bit of a gap. So how can we work with this? Well, we could start a pad as Real Love is ending. So if we create a new track here and we find an ambient pad, if you're at Cardiff Community Church, I can give you access to a library of ambient pads I've got, but you can also download them free off the internet. So if we search for pad A in our library, we're going to get a list of pads in the key of A. So let's take this one called Simple Simon, and we're going to drag this on to the end of Real Love. Okay. So when we play the final chorus of Real Love, it's going to start that pad off. Now, as it happens, what key are we in for Real Love? We're in D. Okay, so A doesn't sound too bad actually, so that works okay. But obviously it is clashing, so we probably want to fade this in. So we're going to map this to a MIDI controller. If you'd be playing piano, you could plug your piano into your laptop as well, and even if you're not using the hardware sounds from the piano, you could still use it as a controller, or maybe you've got another MIDI controller that you can use. So if I just show you here, I've got this MIDI controller here, and we're going to use this master volume. It's currently mapped to the master volume, but we're going to use it to control that second pad. So if we go into MIDI mode by pressing Ctrl M, let's delete that mapping of the master. Just click on it and press delete, and then let's click on that the pad track. We need to scroll right a bit there, and then let's move that fader. Okay, so cool. So now if we come out of MIDI map mode, when I move the fader, it's controlling that slider. Okay, cool. So we could start with it completely down. Ooh, bring out the master volume.
Ending.
And we could bring it in as soon as the song's ended. Now if we start the next song, if we started playing our piano part over the top, the click would change, but we also lose our pad. So what we need to do is stop it when we change the click from stopping playing that pad that's running in the background. So you'll notice that when we trigger this here, there's actually a stop icon there, and it's actually stopping the track from running. So if we right click on that, we can click this remove stop button option here. So now if we play the end, let's just set the BPM, make sure we're right there. So if we play the end, and then we start Forever, the click will change, but the pad will actually stay there in the background and won't stop. And then the piano part can come in. So we'd probably be playing this live and having this ambient pad as kind of a background, so to help ease that transition, and also to kind of help with what we're playing. So why might you use an ambient pad? I mean, we could just put a pad on the piano and play that along with the intro. If you're playing an intro line like that, if you had a pad playing the same thing, it would sound a bit weird. Pads are kind of best for playing block chords, and it wouldn't really work with the kind of rhythmic sound that we've got for that intro. It would sound a bit mushy. So if we have an ambient pad which basically just holds the root note of the key in the background throughout the entire song, that'll kind of sit quite nicely. Now, this sounds good. The only thing I don't like about it is it sounds a little bit busy for this intro, because even if we adjust the volume, Then we can't really hear it, but if it's up here, it just sounds a bit too much. So what we could really do with is chopping some of those high frequencies out. So this is where a filter's going to come in. So you can either search for filter in here, or you can go to audio effects and then filter will be at the top, or this auto filter. So if we make sure we're on this track, we can double click here, or we could drag it onto the track. Let's double click. So it's added the filter on here. And if we play it again, and then I control this filter here, you can hear what it's doing to the sound. So it's basically chopping out some of those high frequencies. So we can have it much louder now, but whereas before it would have been a bit much, this will kind of help it sit nicely in the background. Okay, that's nice. So maybe as the song progresses, we actually want to build it up. And we could do that by using our ambient pad. So if we MIDI map the frequency dial here to the modulation wheel on our keyboard, now we can control the frequency using that. Let's move that over here. Okay, so now as the song builds, we could open up that filter and then maybe bring it down for the next verse. So we can kind of use a filter as like a dynamic tool. So rather than just adjusting the master volume of that pad, we can use a filter to kind of bring it, make it more light or dark. So that's nice. And we could take this one step further. We could use another ambient pad, maybe an even brighter one. So if we find our ambient pads again. So let's take this summer camp one. And let's drag it onto another channel. And we'll put a filter on this channel as well. And let's map that to this knob here. And let's play that pad as well. So in big sections of the song, that additional pad could really kind of add some high end to it and make the sound from the keys much, much bigger. So yeah, so I've shown you how to kind of use that pad at the end of Real Love to kind of form a glue between the two songs. And then if we wanted to go into another song, we could do the same trick. So we could again have another pad on another channel and then fade between the two. Or if we wanted to keep it simple, we could just drag a different key on below it. So let's just carry on playing. And then we could just trigger the next one. And if there's kind of a drum swell or something at the end of the song, you're not really going to notice that transition. It'll kind of be hidden by the end of the song. So that can work as well. And then that'll give us like a nice moment to just get the click, get the new speed in our head before we start playing the intro or count whoever's going to be playing in. Cool. So that pretty much covers it all. Hope you found that useful. And in the next video, I'm going to be showing you some more advanced things you can do with tracks about how to change the key and some other things as well. Thanks for watching, guys.